And the next episode of the Yalabat podcast is brought to you by Folklory, which is our audio service where we interview your loved ones to capture stories and memories as private podcasts. And it's that time of the year again. People are trying to book up your calendar. You're starting to hear Mariah Carey on the radio again. And you're seeing, decorations being put up on Orchard Road. And what is that time of the year, Harish?
It's Christmas!
Yes, and we have a very special Folklory Christmas offer for you. So if you're already starting to look for gifts and you can't think of something that is really unique, listen up.
Exactly, because, so far we have recorded more than 250 Folklories. And so far the feedback has been great. But one note that we've gotten time and time again is that the product, it's very digital, because the only way we send it now is through a link, right? You listen to it, we pass you the audio file, but people have said, it's a gift, I want something people can touch and feel. So for this Christmas, we're experimenting with a very limited edition physical product, and that is our Christmas Cassette, which essentially is a Bluetooth speaker in the shape of a cassette. Terrence, did you ever make a mixtape when you were younger?
Loads of them. So many of them. Gave away so many.
Right. So you compile your songs, you write a little note or something.
Yeah.
So we have a Bluetooth speaker version, which comes preloaded with your Folklories. And they sound, it's like a legit speaker. Let me just play you a sample.
Hello there, this is Terrence from Folklory. And that's coming from the actual cassette, like speaker itself.
Yeah, exactly. So this Bluetooth speaker, for any order that is made for Christmas this year, from now till November 12th, any order you make, you will get this one of the sweet babies free, delivered right to your house by Christmas, guaranteed. Okay, so it's pretty sweet. It comes with its own case as well, and we can custom the message and all that for you. So the best way to find out more is go to the website. There's a link in the show notes, which has questions about this, has more pictures. And we would love to create this for you this Christmas. We have a limited batch, so while stocks last. Hopefully we can create a magical present for you. And now, on to the podcast. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Yala, your thrice weekly podcast where we talk about the hottest news with a touch of what, Terrence?
Good old humor.
Good old humor.
Yeah.
Well, that was a very serious and intentional good old humor, man.
Clean slate to start the week.
Hey, clean slate to start the week. Monday lah.
Yeah, Monday lah, essentially.
That's your Monday morning.
Monday voice. Yeah.
You're driven. A very focused, good old humor.
Yeah. Let's kill Monday. That's a Gary V saying, right?
Is it?
Something like that lah. About like Monday is like the favorite day of the week or something like that.
Is it? Or is it like, Terrence, on Sunday night, do you feel excited?
Yeah.
Or do you feel depressed?
Miserable? Yeah.
There can only be one answer.
But if you're working on Sunday or Saturday or Sunday, it doesn't really make a difference that much, right?
True lah.
Don't feel it that difference that much.
True lah.
Yeah.
Well, your weekend you were working a lot.
I think we've both been working quite a bit on the weekends and what,
Yeah.
But it's you stop thinking so much about the differences between days only, right?
Really? I would have thought that for you, like especially with a kid, weekends and weekdays are like markedly different.
Yeah, weekends are exhausting.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. I don't even have a kid, and sometimes I feel okay. Finally, the weekend is over. I can rest during the week.
Yeah.
It's just like I don't know where the hell.
But what are you so exhausted by?
No, so sometimes okay. So there's like family stuff.
Okay.
Right. Because we still try to like have family stuff for my wife's family, my family.
Yeah.
Then I don't know, just chores.
Oh yeah, chores.
Cleaning.
Chores always. Yeah.
We try to meal prep, right? So cooking. So by the end you're like, oh my god, where the fuck did the weekend go?
Yeah. It's one of those. It's one of those ironies that you look so much forward to the weekend. Then weekend rolls around, you end up more exhausted than you were during weekdays.
And I can imagine if you have a kid or multiple kids, your whole weekend is just... maybe it's energizing lah. Is it?
But that's it, yeah lah. I was just about to add that it's that kind of like... yesterday I went hiking, with my kid, carried him on my back. And maybe that's why I'm like exhausted. Like, I woke up, my whole back was just sore. But it's that kind of you're energized, but you're exhausted at the same time. I don't know how to describe it. It's after a good workout, lah, right?
So that means you had a workout, lah, right?
Yeah. I had workout, but tired lah after that. Yeah.
Okay, lah. So yeah, just I don't know. Like I mean, I'll be away next week. Oh yeah. So heads up to the listeners. I'll be away for 1 week.
Yeah.
So there might still be some episodes that come out, lah.
Yeah. Hopefully, yeah. We'll see.
Maybe
Let's see how we arrange.
good old Rishi again or something.
Good old Rishi. Yeah. The substitutes indeed.
Substitutes indeed. Correct, man.
But yeah, clean slate, new day for a lot of people, not just ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. Because there was a big thing that happened yesterday, right? Which we will get into.
Yeah.
I mean, as we are recording now, Parliament is sitting as well.
Yeah.
Right. We are not there in person, but we will definitely be talking about what comes out.
Yeah.
But before we jump into it, Terence, what's our usual spiel?
Do follow us on our social media, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, or especially on Spotify. And yeah, give us a rating or a subscribe or thumbs up or something, because all that little effort helps to get this podcast a little bit more visibility.
Yeah. And also, if you click on like the notifications to let you know whenever there's a new episode, it'll help you not miss an episode. Because we are going to keep churning them out, man.
Yeah.
And if you want to work with us, our email is always contact@ministryoffunny.com.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Cool.
But new beginnings, man. New beginnings.
Yes.
What's this first topic we're talking about?
Something that happened at the PAP Awards and Convention event over the weekend. I mean, I didn't know this existed.
Okay.
Do you know that this happens every November, no, apparently?
I mean, I know they have like some conference and thingy for the party, right? What it's called exactly, I don't follow.
Yeah.
But important announcements are made there, lah.
Yeah. And I mean, like, they're honoring the party activists, right? It was at a convention center. I'm not so sure which one, but there were 1,000+ people, no? And I mean, of course, PM Lee gave his speech. Lawrence Wong gave his speech. Heng Swee Keat gave his speech. And a few of the new party members gave their speeches.
Yeah.
But I mean, the one thing, like, before we dive into the topic, like they still call each other comrade.
Yeah.
I know we've spoken about this before, but the tradition is when just from like the colonial times, like the time when Singapore was charting its independence.
Correct me if I'm wrong, anyone who's more well versed in the history of this. But back then, PAP actually aligned itself a lot more to left-wing politics in the early founding days in order to, get broad support across the spectrum, right? So the use of the word comrades, is a vestige of that.
That is true. Actually, yeah. The term comrade, it has been talked about before. Like the apparent practices from its leftist linked past. Wow, well done, Terence. Yeah. Calling his member comrades. And then I was also looking, I mean, of course the PAP is not a radical organization. But when I just Google, right, how many political parties in the world have uniforms? Right? And according to Wikipedia, a number of political movements have involved their members wearing uniforms, typically as a way of showing their identity in marches and demonstrations. But they also pointed out that the wearing of uniforms tend to be associated with radical political beliefs.
Yeah.
And then when I went down the list of political parties with political uniforms, right, okay, you have the Chinese Communist Party, but you also have the Black Shirts, the British Union of Fascists, the Patriotic People's Movement of Finland.
Yeah.
And goes on. Then under others, the white uniform of Singapore's People Action Party. Yeah, I mean, I'm not insinuating anything, but I just found it weird because, whenever you look at politics of other countries, they're rarely in uniform.
Yeah.
Right? I know this is like the annual general meeting, but yeah, just 1,000 people. It felt like a school assembly.
It's we have a strange obsession with uniforms here.
Yeah.
From kids onwards, and then subsequently, even political leaders and all that.
Yeah.
But honestly, I just saw a tweet recently that made me also think like half the time also, we regular folk, right? We're not in politics, what? We also drop, we actually pay to wear other people's work uniforms also very often. Think about it. Man U fan wearing a Man U t-shirt. You're literally wearing someone's work uniform every day and you paid to wear it somehow. Basketball fans, you're also wear someone's work uniform. So what's the, it's not that far stretch that political parties have uniforms also lah.
But why do you wear the menu uniform?
To show that you like pain, you like the pain of losing and suffering.
Now
for 10
lah,
years.
now
Yeah,
lah.
yeah.
But back in the glory days, or to show your loyalty to the club that you choose to support lah, right?
Yeah.
Even basketball, and now
Same,
basketball jerseys like has entered the realm of fashion also lah, right?
Yeah.
I guess anytime it's a single color shirt, that's where it's more the color than what you're actually wearing lah.
It's
The garment lah. Yeah.
Meaning what?
As in, it's more about the color than the garment itself.
The PAP color, yeah.
I thought you were going to go down how Singaporeans wear Uniqlo as their uniform.
Oh, no, that one's a more recent thing. I'm just saying around the world, right?
Yeah.
Like people pay to wear other professions' work uniforms without realizing it. Yeah.
True lah.
Yeah.
And I was also thinking given that the schools like RI and all, like you do see people from there enter politics. I wonder if at some point they probably have to think, okay, when you were young, you were wearing all white.
Yeah.
And then now you're wearing all white as an adult. It's like full circle.
Yeah. And some way to stand out, right? Wearing all white. You're either a PAP politician, you're incorruptible, or you're a Backstreet Boy from the I Want It That Way video. Remember when they wore all
yeah.
white?
Oh, you're going to that.
Days,
What's that? Atas dinner?
Oh yeah, the white party right?
The French
dinner en blanc.
Yeah, dinner en blanc. Yeah, dinner en blanc. Only 3 times you actually wear fully white.
And 2 out of 3 that we mentioned, they're all about attracting attention either wanting to be a Backstreet Boy or the dinner en blanc.
Dinner en blanc.
Yeah. So that's why I said it attracts attention
That's true lah. Like a whole hall of white. But yeah, so there was a talk given yesterday, and PM Lee I think the one thing that was making the rounds on the internet today was the part where PM Lee got a bit emotional.
Yes.
Towards the end of his 52-minute speech, where he talked about how proud he is to have served Singapore for most, if not all, of his adult life.
Yeah.
I think the PAP is going to be 70 next year.
Yeah.
And he is 71. So literally, he is... Like his life is the PAP lah.
His whole life is the PAP.
Yeah.
Whole life is in service to Singapore, so to speak.
Yeah. And I mean, his speech, he did talk a lot about like a very broad view of Singapore's history, the challenges Singapore faces now, and the succession planning lah.
Yeah.
I think the big thing that a lot of people have been talking about is when is he going to step down. The party has already endorsed the PM Wong as the next PM, right? And it was about whether PM Lee will lead the team into the next election, and if they win it, then hand over or hand over before. But he gave his answer.
Yeah, and I think it's important to note that he was the last speaker, right, in the whole convention, if I'm not wrong.
I think so, yes.
Yeah, so it's kind of like the drum roll. Everyone else was like building up towards his big announcement, right?
Yeah.
I mean, given that he is the Secretary General of the party, it made sense. But I think it was just even more spectacular by the fact that he dropped this nugget at the end of his speech.
And somewhere at the start, Lawrence Wong said, "What? I'm ready
for
to take his job." Yeah,
for the next
assignment.
But he doesn't say what the assignment is. Yeah. He gives a wink, I know, the kind of thing.
And then PM Lee is like, Lawrence, it's yours.
Yeah.
It is yours.
Yeah.
But I mean, we did listen to the speech, the main points and all. After listening to it, what are some broad sentiments you have?
I think the first thing is like what we mentioned, it's quite crazy to think about. This guy, he's he's a lifer, so to speak. SAF all the way, then after that politics, PAP all the way, government all the way, up to 70s, retirement, everything. You won't see this kind of thing amongst younger people these days. Younger people these days all about collecting job offers like FANG. I want to go to every single one of the big tech companies. Have it on my resume. Call me what's the term for ex-Googlers? They call it ex-Googler.
Zooglers.
Zooglers. Is it?
There's Nooglers.
Oh.
Nooglers are new Googlers.
Oh, okay. But old Googlers are
I think what?
Ooglers are old Googlers. No.
Ooglers.
No, I don't know. But
let me see, yeah.
Yeah, but I think my point is they just want to have on their resume that they've worked at these places, right?
It's a Zoogler. XOO XGLER.
Okay, Zoogler. Okay,
Zoogler,
yeah. With an X, right?
Yeah, with an X. Yeah. And if you join, you're a Noogler.
Noogler, okay.
I think so, yeah.
But that seems to be the way these days. Nobody respects someone who stays at one job for life anymore, right?
Yeah, correct. In fact, now if you stay in one job for 10, 15 years, people are like, hey, bro,
Yeah, stupid.
Yeah,
They're
if
putting
you-
money on the table, leaving
yeah,
money on the
if
table.
you leave jobs, you can ask for what 16% pay increase or something.
Yeah. But not this
Uh,
man.
not
This man, like for life, lah, And it's more poignant even because yesterday, someone also who was, I mean, you can sort of say that Lee Hsien Loong, I mean, he was born into it, lah, right? In basically being Lee Kuan Yew's son and then doing it his whole life. So he's the success story, lah, right? Or, I mean, okay, as in, if you were Lee Kuan Yew and then you're like, okay, I would love if my son would follow my footsteps.
took
blah,
over
blah,
the family
awesome.
business, lah.
Yeah, took over the family
Took
business.
over family
essentially.
business, yeah.
You contrast that to, someone who just came to Singapore yesterday, who dropped into Singapore yesterday. I know because I happened to be there.
Yeah, where you happen to be there. Yeah,
We've talked about this, but Prince William of the royal family
there.
was at Jewel Changi yesterday to a lot of fanfare and all. But he is someone who also in some way was born into it, right? He didn't have a choice. And now he's in the midst of doing his duty. His father's the king and he's in line, right, for the throne one day. But you've already seen his brother fall off the wayside already, like leave the royal family, the official duties of royal family and all.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not a given that someone born into this kind of role, this kind of prestigious role and everything will necessarily will necessarily see it through all the way till he retires. Right?
Yeah.
So I mean, Lee Hsien Loong is one case where it has happened, right?
Yeah, it's crazy because I mean I'm sure everybody has friends whose parents have a family business that they choose not to take over.
Yeah.
They either take over and embrace it or they go full opposite, right?
Yeah,
full opposite. And like you said, look, really, like you're saying, he's been PM for 20 years now. That is a fucking long time, and he's been in politics for 40 years.
Yeah.
So literally, it just feels like, I mean, so that's why when he started getting emotional and all, unlike other times when other politicians get emotional in parliament, this one you can feel it.
Yeah.
You can feel it and you can't imagine him not getting emotional because for all the criticisms of him, his life literally is Singapore.
Yeah.
Right.
Your life has been defined by this.
Yeah.
This like almost like what do I say? It's almost like a priesthood, almost, right? Like the moment you are from young already, probably you are told that you have to do this. You have to do it for Singapore. Whatever you choose to do, you better do it in honor of Singapore and in honor of your father's legacy and all that.
You think in 10 years' time he'll drop his Netflix documentary or not?
Oh, and then yeah. Or maybe start a podcast. He'll start a podcast. He'll do a podcast with
After White,
Dick Lee or something like that. Like how Obama did a podcast with Bruce Springsteen and all that.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I don't know, man. Depends on what he chooses to do after. But he's not out of politics entirely. He's still. He says he's going to hang around and wait and let Lawrence decide what's next for him, right? Yeah. So I mean, I'm with you in that. Even for himself as a person, probably just looking back on his career, just thinking back to his career,
it's crazy.
Yeah, can bring you to tears, right?
Yeah. And I mean, as for his speech, like I don't know, like when I was listening to his speech, and I also listened to Lawrence Wong's speech, it is. There's a bit of unease for me.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Why?
So if I were to, I mean, just talking through it, like one thing is, on one hand, the world is a very different world now, right? You can't deny that a lot of the things that the founding fathers set up has made Singapore like what it is, right? But the challenges that Singapore faces, the whole situation of the world now it faces is totally different. But when he was talking about, how you need a strong government to be able to take the long-term stance, right? And he was saying that, can you imagine if a government is like they just win by a small majority, every decision they do, a large part would be to not lose that small majority.
Yeah.
And then he also gave the example of how the early years of Singapore, the politicians were able to move fast because generally everybody was on the same page. But recently, and this one we have seen ourselves, right, sitting there in parliament, sometimes they debate so much stuff that is not about policies. It is about the most, like I wouldn't say random shit, consequential shit, but it's more about things like, ride out and stuff like that, which impacts like the citizens' confidence or citizens' perspectives, but it's not really moving Singapore forward like a revolutionary policy would. So then on one, it felt like, hey, actually, do we then how do we think about the presence of opposition Do we want, is like a full-on government just by one party the best thing? And if you don't align with them, then you move elsewhere lah.
Yeah.
Right. So then I was thinking like, hey, actually, it's a bit worrying because I mean, like we have one thing a lot of people do say, which I agree also, is that you need opposition for balance. But then what is that balance? So yeah, just a thought-provoking thought lah.
Yeah, I mean, essentially he put up the same argument that he said many, many years ago, but in a much less politically correct manner, lah, right? That if I have to spend my time fixing the opposition, I'll have less time to do everything.
That's what he said
years ago, lah. That he
yeah.
got criticized for, lah, right? This time he essentially said, if I have to spend my time on politics rather than policies, again, that takes my time away, lah, inevitably. Which is, I think, that's an argument that he will make for a strong majority or a super majority in parliament. But I guess over the years, what we've heard a bit more nuance about it is that you can have a mandate, you can have a strong majority, but maybe not a super majority. So that you can't just willy-nilly you change the constitution to change criteria for presidency and stuff like that, right? Which I think people have called out the PAP for, right? So this is his argument side of things, but I would think that over the years we've also seen the value of opposition candidates in parliament. Even when we sit down there, we see who are the most active people asking questions that are on people's minds in parliament, right? Not necessarily just being fucking populists and just saying what gets votes, right? So yeah, I think I would like to think that this is obviously a PAP convention, so he's putting forth the argument as such. But I think it would have to be a bit more, a bit stronger or more nuanced argument if he's really talking to people about this.
Yeah. Because at one point he also said, the party activists in the opposition wards deserve a lot of credit. They're doing what they can and to win it back, and we will one day win it back. And then just hearing that, it felt like, having is like the people there are almost like suffering because it is not PAP. Like if I was an opposition leader member, I was like, hey, you're just taking shots at the opposition, right?
But it's a PAP convention, right?
Yeah, it's at a PAP convention, It's like if we had a Yalabat convention, right? We won't be like, what would we say at the Yalabat convention?
I mean, you'll be playing up Yalabat and not playing up other.
Yes, I know, Terrence. Right? I know, but like, what would we say? Like,
it's been great for all these 450 episodes to have served the audience of Yalabat.
And there are podcast listeners out there who don't yet listen to Yalabat. They're listening to other podcasts.
Yeah.
But someday we will get them onto Yalabat. We will become their sole source of news.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it just in terms of, because you can't, I mean, even when you look at other countries, like recently the US, they had that whole shit show of like Congress or Senate?
It's Congress,
right? Yeah, coming to a standstill because they just couldn't agree on the Speaker of the House, right? And then you look at that, you're like, huh. But at the same time, I think, like what you were saying also, this is a PAP convention. Of course, they will say that in the grander scheme of things, a super majority would never be good, lah. It's like you have some friends. I'm sure you have some friends who are like, maybe they don't value like emotions or relationships. They're just about like get shit done. And they're very successful. But something's got to give, lah. Yeah. I think over the weekend, my friend sent something about this one quote from the Hong Leong Bank CEO, and basically the founder, lah. So he's the billionaire Kwok Ling Beng. So he was quoted, the Sumiko Tan, I think she said, I ventured to ask him if he is similarly impatient at home, say with his grandchildren. Yes, he says without hesitation. I do not often see my grandchildren. When I see them, I play with them, and maybe after 10 minutes, I'm tired because they cannot talk business to me as much as I love them. Then I'm like, wow. Okay, so I mean, he's a go-getter. He's about getting shit done, but like if you don't have that balance, then other people around you suffer, lah.
I guess what you're saying is that there's more than one facet of success, right? Success as a businessman or whatever, versus success as a family man, success as a husband, and all these things, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's what our generation is coming to terms with, right? That it's hard to just like pin all your entire self-esteem and self-worth on one aspect of your life, like whether it's your career or just your family or just your relationships and all that, right?
Yeah.
It has to be a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
But actually, one interesting thing is that this will be, I guess, there were a lot of people, a lot of younger people especially, would not even have went through the time when there was a transition between Lee Kuan Yew and Goh Chok Tong, right? Where it's basically Lee Kuan Yew handing over the leadership to a non-Lee person, right? Because Lee Hsien Loong has been it's almost like back then you also kind of like, okay, Lee Hsien Loong is earmarked for this thing, so you kind of knew it was going to happen already.
Yeah.
But now it's like, at least in the near term or at least in the near future, you don't see any Lees on the horizon rising up to take over leadership. So it's really that whole legacy of the Lees now being handed over to the Wongs, the Lawrence Wongs. Yeah.
The Wong dynasty.
Yeah, the Wong dynasty.
The Lee dynasty is coming to an end already.
It was Lee, Goh, Lee, and then now Wong.
Lee Wong.
Yeah, Lee Go Lee Wong. So in some ways it is a very big step forward. Because again, there was so much about Lee Kuan Yew in the pioneer generation in the speech also. That sometimes it made me like forget once in a while that, oh, this is a Lee Hsien Loong speech, and not so much about from Lee Kuan Yew or what.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess you wonder whether when it comes to in the future, when it's Lawrence Wong giving his speeches, will it hark back so much to the founding fathers and Lee Kuan Yew and all that also. Yeah.
Because it is some big ass shoes to fill, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, not to say that everything PM Lee has done has been great, but the where Singapore is now, where PAP is so influential, Lawrence Wong to step up with all the stuff happening in the world with stronger opposition than maybe the past few decades or something. It's and what you said is true. If you are in your early 20s now, probably by the time you started having memories, PM Lee was already in power.
PM Lee was already PM Lee. Yeah.
PM Lee was already PM Lee.
Yeah.
He wasn't Lee, he was PM Lee.
And you knew his father was this like great founding father figure to everyone.
Yeah.
So it feels like it's gone on forever, right? Like the whole Lee thing. Like Goh Chok Tong almost, shout out to him, respect him all, but for very young people, maybe almost like a blip like that, right?
A blip,
Yeah. It was like the 5 years of Thanos snapping fingers. Suddenly no Lee, and then now we got Lee again.
Yeah, that's true. It was a break, guy. It was a break. They people take like gap years to go find themselves and all. The Lee family just like, okay, you just handle the fort. We go figure some shit out, and then we'll be back.
Yeah, respect to him. Respect to him. We lived through his prime ministership and all. There were a lot of there are a lot of things that he did for Singapore. So we're just saying this kind of in jest, thinking about how young people might see it.
Because even back then there was no social media. So
no social media. It was like the newspaper, that was our social media.
Yeah.
That was as spicy as it got, really.
Yeah, and when there was that change, I didn't care much about politics back then. I was not even 20 yet?
No,
yeah. Teenagers.
Goh Chok Tong. Goh Chok Tong.
Yeah,
very
teenagers,
much younger.
Goh Chok Tong was PM for one term.
I don't know whether you go by terms, but much shorter.
Yeah. So even for my recollection, it's always been PM Lee. So that's why it will be interesting how things are going to change.
Yeah.
Because even for Lawrence Wong, like certain things he said, talking about the next phase, talking about refresh, talking about listen to more diverse opinions, and talking even about the comms, like how things are communicated. That is something that needs to be more listening and all. So it's interesting, but yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting, and like I have no idea how it's going to turn out. Of course, like no one really knows.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that like when PM Lee took helm, I can imagine there was some sort of familiarity there.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas this one is like a change. Even their demeanors as individuals are very different.
Correct.
But
I guess one thing working in Lawrence Wong's favor, in that sense, is that he helmed the multi-ministry task force during COVID-19.
Yeah.
Because I think if you look at the history of Singapore, you cannot deny that COVID-19 will always be seen as like one of the big world crises that Singapore had to weather, right? And whose name is affixed most closely to the weathering of that storm? It's Lawrence Wong lah. It's on your resume lah. It's your resume. It's there already. The line item is there lah. Everything else is like you can call it embellishment or did this grow the GDP this much, all these things. But nothing. The moment you say COVID-19, then like
head of MMTF.
Yeah. You say I steered Singapore through that. Then people are like, oh, even you're like some random world leader who doesn't know anything about Singapore's history. You just this guy steered the country through COVID-19. Okay, respect.
His resume, LinkedIn just needs that one line. Total blank page. Co-chair of MMTF.
Yeah.
Oh, lama.
Yeah. So it's in a sense, I think it really. He acknowledged it also in his speech. Lawrence Wong, he said that his personal life has changed a lot in this past year and all that. But I really think, COVID-19, the whole thing really was that big change for him, right? It was that one, the Eminem, the 8 Mile moment, you only got one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow, right? This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. It was COVID-19 for him.
Correct. He lost himself. You're going to lose yourself.
No mum spaghetti vomit on his sweater and all that.
Maybe in the parliament bathroom, he was listening, just to the mirror and all
people. Bobbing his head,
Lawrence Wong. I mean, interesting, like he said, the next election has to happen by 2025. Now, some analysts, according to CNA, are saying it'll come end of 2024.
Because, PAP's birthday is, the 70th birthday of PAP is, I think, November 2024. So if Lee Hsien Loong is saying it has to happen before the birthday, which he alluded to in his speech, then that's the time.
Yeah, so that means so PM Lee next year handing over, the PM Wong taking over, and before the election, who knows what can happen, right?
Yeah. There's still. Don't forget the Black July that happened this year, right?
Oh, Black July. That's your term, is it?
I think when we look back in history, it will seem like this 1 month, a lot of things happened.
You're saying Black July or Black and White July?
Why black and white?
Black and White House and all that.
Oh, Black and White House, yes. That plus
that's what all the scandals, right?
You can say black and white for the F1 flag also, The F1 flag also black and white.
F1 flag is black. Oh, the checkered flag.
Checkered flag. Yeah. And what was linked to it, right?
That's true.
That's true. Hey, let's call it now. It's Black and White July.
Black and White
2023
July.
In Singapore's
Black and
history.
White July.
Yeah. Because it was the black and white houses and the checkered flag.
But then the scandals, we miss out on the scandals.
Oh yeah, god damn. We got to find something black and white about that. Not so black and white.
Fucking populist black and white. No, too long.
Too long. It's just something catchy, right? The whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll think about it.
Someone can come up with some black and white reference when talking about the sex scandals. Yeah, please let us know.
Something gate, Something gate, right?
Yeah.
Ride Out Gate. Ishwaran Gate. F1 Gate.
Yeah. But so there's a long runway now for Lawrence Wong to build up towards the general election, knowing that he's definitely going to become leader before then.
His plan is basically the Forward Singapore plan, Forward SG.
Yeah. What does that mean?
That was what he was. That's what he said. That's the plan, the skeleton for, or like the blueprint, The blueprint. I could tell from the excitement of your face.
I meant it in jest, Forward Singapore. Okay.
He just submitted his project plan. And you're like, oh fuck, Lawrence, I don't need to read your 200-page project. Just get on with it.
No, I think he probably. How do you think people, like normal people around, view Lawrence Wong, and in general, what their perceptions of him,
I would say if there was a straw poll, generally likable. He is capable, but still haven't really cemented that this guy he got that, as Lee Kuan Yew says, he got the iron in him. That's what I would guess.
Yeah, I would say the same, that people are like, okay, he steered us through COVID and everything, very good. Very sound technically, everything. But like what you say, the fight, the iron, all that. One thing conspicuously, he was very absent during the period when talking about the scandals and all that, right?
Yeah.
I think did not hear a lot from him about all these scandals and all these things, or at least not in Parliament per se, that we were there. So yeah, you want to know how a leader deals with crisis as well, right? Obviously, we've seen COVID-19, yes, but these are crises of a different kind, right? The crisis of existential crisis, I would say, right? That plagues every organization as they get stronger and bigger. So yeah, you want to see how he handles those. Maybe that's where with this like sort of informal handing over, is clearing the path for him to, okay, he's going to be the one to speak up about a lot of these things now.
Yeah. But also kind of like there's a lot of people watching. There's a lot of people watching. I mean, like in the same vein as sports, right? I know football makes people glaze over sometimes. But if you look at the Messis and the Ronaldos and the Federers, it's not just one tournament or one season, right? The thing is, year after year, they deliver. And that's why they're the GOATs.
Yeah,
man.
So yeah, let's wait and see what
let's wait and
holds.
See.
But yeah, from one interesting thing happening at a convention to another interesting thing happening at another convention. Which is this other convention that you were talking about?
I mean, similar to the PAP event, there's going to be a big gathering of people at Singapore Convention Centre. At the end of November, another November event. It is the Anime Festival Asia, AFA, which is the largest Japanese pop culture event in Singapore. There was an announcement made that Tenga, one of Japan's top adult toy brands, will be an exhibitor at the 3-day event. With their own booth. So I think this came out a few days ago. And apparently the post they made, but like within, it was uploaded last Wednesday, and by Friday there was 1,000 likes, 1,200 shares, and 264 comments. But basically, a lot of them were highlighting that how can you have this booth at an event that is open to the public with no age gate? So apparently, as of Wednesday itself, at 9:45 p.m., the AFA stated that visitors to the booth are going to be required to be 21 and above.
That's right.
So some people still not happy lah. But I mean, if you look at the sex toys also, it's like in the shape of eggs and shit like that. I don't know how that's a sex toy.
I think
it's for guy or girl.
No, Tenga's. If you watched that, remember I my one show thing was this Korean
Tenga
show.
Sex toys.
This Korean show, Risky Business, where they go to Japan and they talk to adult toy makers and adult film stars and all that. They talk about this toy that's very popular, and essentially it's a masturbation device
so the egg-shaped one is for females.
Okay. But yeah, primarily Tenga is most famous for create like those masturbation devices.
Oh shit! They really have a lot.
It's a very big business. It's like I think it was quite interesting where they interviewed the people who either make or they sell the toys or the distributor of the toys, and they asked him, would you how important is this to you in your life, would you rather have I think they gave him a choice of, would you rather for the rest of your life just have this toy or just only have access to porn, without the toy And I think the person that interviewed chose the toy He'd rather just have the toy, no porn, nothing,
just the toy.
So it's that important to a lot of people who use it But anyway, that aside, it's quite interesting this debate that is going on about it. Like, what were your thoughts when you first heard about this?
The thing is, it's called the Anime Festival Asia. So how come this? I mean, okay, I don't have any issues with it being there. But I just found it funny. Like, how come if it's for anime, there is a sex toy company from Japan there?
Okay. I guess that I will answer is that a lot of guys who like anime and all that, they also are users of the same sex toy.
Whoa.
So there's just it's just an overlap of. I mean,
you
it's the
sure not,
demographics.
Terrence?
I'm very sure.
Some people are going to comment like, Terrence, I love anime, but I don't use sex toys.
No, I mean, it's part of the whole That's why I said that documentary, that show that Korean show was quite interesting because they do talk very realistically about who are the users of this product and what kind of what do they expect from it. And the funny thing is they really had cameras in the shops, and they showed the people who go there and buy these toys are just regular dudes and all who like, or they're just shopping around. It's just a regular thing that they do. Like, it's just part of their lifestyle. So in some ways, Japan is very famous for, creating entire industries of very specific things like anime, for example, or manga and all these things, right? And this sex toy industry and all is also something quite unique to them, right? And the overlaps of the demographics of the customers, for whatever reason, that there are a lot of them are men, a lot of them are probably single, this is the target market for them. So why wouldn't they want to be at this festival?
So the more politically correct answer to why they were included, Terence, aside from you generalizing a lot of things, is that the decision to include Tenga in this year's offerings, according to the organizers, stem from AFA's goal to provide our attendees with an authentic insight into what J culture and Akihabara have to offer. And Akihabara is a place in Japan, it's a shopping area, right? And it's famous for anime and electronics products, and Tenga holds a prominent space there.
True.
But even then, there's also
generalizing also.
It's a big part of J culture, I guess.
There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things there you could cover.
Yeah.
I
mean, I guess for J culture to sex toys to be part of J culture. Can you imagine Singapore culture, sex toys was part of Singapore culture?
It'll be quite interesting.
Yeah, it'll be damn interesting, man.
Yeah.
On the train, there might be little booths.
Yeah. But I think that's the bigger thing when they say it's part of J culture. It just tells you how unembarrassed or undisturbed they are by Tengas being around that, right? Okay, there's this group of people who enjoy just pleasuring themselves at home in the comfort of their own home with something that they buy and go and do it,
Yeah.
And that's part of the thing that I also learned from the documentary, where they almost felt like there was it was helping to the sex and adult industry in Japan, right? Is helping young men direct their frustration elsewhere, I think they interviewed a few of these porn stars and all, who said that, well, why not? If I help to keep people safer by making sure they don't become mass murderers or anything like that, right? Where they can direct their sexual frustration to somewhere or something else.
Or just frustration in general, right?
Yeah.
Because these kind of toys, pleasuring yourself, I mean, it does alleviate stress.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if Singapore has this new initiative?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people in Singapore are getting more stressed, right?
Yeah.
We already imported the rage rooms, in Singapore. I don't know whether they still are. The one where you go and smash things.
Yeah.
But, I mean, so in some sense, I think having their booth at this festival, it's cool.
Yeah.
But what do you think of the people making noise?
It's not wrong for them to state that, this is an event meant to the public. But I think now it's clear that there will be age restrictions on it, right? And it'll be a walled off. I think it'll be a walled off part of the section.
Apparently in the corner. Yeah.
Which I've seen before. I've seen it happen at media conventions and all that, where then there's a certain booth or something that's selling a bit more adult content and all. Then they really wall off the place. It's just there's a door literally.
Oh, you seen it?
Yeah. Because I attended these film conferences in Hong Kong and all. So there are booths that are selling adult content, right?
Oh.
Not hardcore adult stuff, but erotic content. And they really wall off these places. And let's say you want to go and try the VR experience, the porn VR experience or whatever. Yeah, you can go, but you got to go into this walled off place, show your photo ID and things like that. And at a professional convention, it's quite embarrassing to be seen lining up one of these things, I suppose.
Everybody just looking down.
Just looking out for the eye contact.
To use your phone, yeah.
Yeah. So this one, I mean, not so bad, right? It's just a self-pleasuring device, You're not watching porn.
It's not gun, It's not a fucking gun, right?
Yeah.
It's not a gun. You're not hurting anyone.
Yeah.
But even then, I think if there wasn't an age kind of thing, then I would feel okay, I think there should be. Because in Singapore, you walk along Orchard Road, there's so many sex shops there.
Yeah.
Right? But you go in, I think you need to show ID.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, because last time also for our previous show, we filmed in a sex shop, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, like they're already there in Singapore. Like, don't need to act like, oh my god, this doesn't exist in Singapore.
Yeah.
But with the age gate, okay lah.
Yeah.
But I think just based on some people quoted in the article, that they did say like explicitly, it is not right for AFA to be having an exhibition on sexual wellness products. But I mean, the whole exhibition is not on sexual wellness products.
Yeah.
It's just one of the
It's one
booths lah.
aspect.
Can you
And-
imagine if that like a tech week, someone told us, this is a tech event.
Yeah.
We don't need a company like Folklory
Yeah.
that focuses on talking to people.
Analog service.
Yeah, analog service. Yeah, correct. Where is your
Where's the
groundbreaking? Yeah, where's the AI?
Yeah.
Where's the
It's the
AI?
AI aspect.
Yeah.
But some people did. I think some people they interviewed also did say that ultimately, when you go to a pharmacy, they also sell, sex toys and things like that at the the condom section and also lah, vibrators and stuff like that. So what's the big deal with it being here? Do you
I
think
mean,
it's a
if
big
you
deal?
go to their range of things on the website, is a hell lot of things, man.
I guess to that I would say maybe the difference is how it's publicized
Yeah.
alongside like these anime activities lah, right?
Yeah.
Or anime content lah, right?
Yeah.
Because there will be a lot of younger people, young adults or younger kids, right? Who will be at that place thinking that everything that they see here is going to be awesome. It's going to be like, I'm a big fan of anime, and then suddenly they come across this sex toy thing. Oh, and they like get curious. But whereas in a very stale environment like a pharmacy or a Guardian, generally everything is if you got stomachache, eat this. If you got headache, eat this.
Yeah.
Or then you look at the sex toy. Oh, you got sexual problems, then you buy this lah, right?
Yeah.
Whereas this one is maybe it glamorizes it a bit more lah, right? If anything, if I really had to dig the bottom of the barrel to find a reason to why there needs to be restrictions on this lah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just looking at their website and like that egg thing, like I think because they are quite cheeky also lah. That egg thing is actually for the males. And they have 3 different versions: the boxy standard series, egg masturbator, crater strong sensation, or shiny hard boiled egg series.
Yeah.
Ah.
Right.
So, but yeah, like at the end of the day, if it's blocked off, if you have to show ID, I mean, if the organizers themselves, it's not say the Tenga force themselves in. The organizers themselves feel it's part of J culture.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess.
Yeah, but it's funny how Suntech. So every time Suntech hosts some anime convention, something like that, I guess a lot of them are held there, right?
Yeah.
But it seems like a lot of times there's always some backlash from conservatives about it. I mean, years ago, I remember there was a cosplayer who showed a little bit of underboob at Suntech, and then someone called police on that cosplayer at the Suntech convention.
Was it?
Yeah, because of underboob, saying that Suntech even has like church. There's a church there and everything. There are young kids who go to church there expecting to see God, and what they ended up seeing was underboob. And it was like, not right lah.
Oh, recently also there was the gender neutral toilet at Suntec City.
Yeah, gender neutral toilet.
Yeah, which was organized by the organizer lah, Wiki Commons lah, the organization behind Wikipedia. Maybe Suntec City, there's something about the fountain there and all, the feng shui all gets upset.
It's the crossroads of like cultures lah, right?
Yeah.
East and West civilization. Clash.
People damn sensitive.
Yeah.
Damn sensitive.
Under boob lah,
Gender neutral
toilets, and now Tenga products. Sex toys.
Sex toys. Wow. The last time I went to Suntec, I got bed sheets from a fair there.
Yeah.
Which was overpriced after I got it lah. I realized.
Oh, bed sheets from the
bed sheets. Fucking bed sheets.
Hey, but just a question, like, is the word Tenga, does it what is it?
Tenga,
what does it mean in Malay?
Why Malay? I mean Tengah.
Yeah, just in general. Or does it mean anything in
Why Malay?
Because if my memory again serves me correct.
Oh, Tenga is middle lah in Malay.
Oh, Tenga. Okay. No, because last time, if my memory reminds is correct, I read a lot of books about old colonial Singapore, and there used to be a very strong alcohol drink that people used to drink in colonial Singapore called the Stenga. So I don't know if that meant
Tenga is half.
or is it? Does it? Okay. I'm looking it up. It says it's a Scotch and soda. It's basically a Scotch and soda drink.
How you spell the Tenga?
Setengah. Yeah.
Oh, setengah. So
Setengah.
yeah lah. So that's setengah is in Malay is half lah.
Okay. So it's called setengah in Malaysia. It's a whiskey and soda.
So half whiskey, half soda.
Okay. Yeah. So strong,
But that
strong.
Tenga is totally different from this Tenga from Japan, right?
Yeah. I know. I'm just wondering whether the etymology of the word had any overlaps.
Oh.
Because you're talking about crossroads, so I was like, okay, is it a crossroads?
Oh yeah. No.
Nothing. Okay, got it.
Setengah. Correct.
Setengah, yeah.
Setengah.
Yeah. But crazy, man.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. So are you going to check out this booth at the Anime Festival Asia?
I mean, to go to the anime festival was not something I was thinking of going. But maybe it's always nice to go and have your mind opened by something. So go there and see. I don't know.
Yeah.
No plans yet, are you?
Yeah. No, I mean, if it's I think it's interesting to go and check out what the booth is like. Don't know if they'll allow people to like film social media content inside or anything. Could be quite interesting, right?
You mean inside the booth?
Yeah, inside the booth, yeah. They had to censor a lot of things.
But I don't know, these kind of things, they won't say there's a blockade, like you can't film anything.
Yeah,
right?
I don't think so. So peculiar. It'll be like the hot ticket for the weekend, for that weekend. Interesting.
I see.
But yeah, that's all the conventions that have been going on in Singapore recently. Like I said, the big one coming up, the Earthshot Prize, going to be presented. A lot of celebrities descending on Singapore for that as well.
Yeah.
I heard Kate Blanchett's coming in to present the prize.
Is it?
Yeah. And then some, I think...
When is it? When is it?
He's here till Wednesday, that's what I've heard.
So it is at Jewel.
I know he was at Jewel yesterday.
Yeah.
They switched off the fountain and switched it on for him. But I heard One Republic will be in town, Bastille will be in town performing for it. Yeah.
Wow.
Big deal. And then even the hosts are also actors from some Netflix shows and all that, yeah. So big thing. So yeah, a lot of conferences, conventions, all that happening. But yeah, other than that, what is your one short comment of the week or of these couple of days?
My one short comment. So let's see. It was a long comment from Internet Lurker 96 on our recent podcast. DBS not allowed to make acquisitions. So they initially just said that they shared their thoughts on the fact that, first of all, one of my one show comments was their suggestion of the Mr. Beast and the Rosanna Pansino controversy. Then they talked about the DBS MES issue and even like a very articulate thoughts on the whole Tan Kiat Hao versus and Taylor Swift issue.
Yeah.
So I just always appreciate comments that are very long, very put together for topics that we talk about, including stuff like Tan Kiat Hao and Taylor Swift, which I thought was just more like a random ass piece of news. But basically they say I don't think Tan Kiat Hao has any ill intent in offering Taylor Swift concert tickets to a member of the public, but one could perceive it as him leveraging his position as an SMS to sway his electorate. So I just thought it was a very, very intellectual discussion about the whole topic.
He even made a TikTok video
about it,
explaining that he's not attending the concert and everything.
Oh, is it? Is it?
It was really. I saw it briefly on Friday. It was pretty funny.
Good on him for that, Good on him for that.
I think he just has to make it very clear. But it's just funny. Imagine getting a call. Hey, sir, sorry, SMS. Sir, you need to make a video explaining you're not going to the Taylor Swift concert.
And imagine if you wanted to go to the Taylor Swift concert. Walao.
And your Friday night is ruined and okay, let me film the video. Someone hold the camera for me. Guys, I'm not going to the Taylor Swift concert.
I'm not going.
Wow, imagine that is your Friday night work that you have to do.
What a funny story, man.
Yeah.
But what about you, man?
My one shoot comment is from our YouTube channel on our episode about the Israel-Hamas conflict. So Sidhe, I don't know, Sidhe or something, says, I'm a non-Singaporean non-Singaporean, but residing here, I suppose he's saying. I appreciate the level of self-awareness and nuance in this episode. Coming from a country who has also endured sectarian violence in the past and is now enjoying some break from it, Seeing the conflict in Israel-Palestine unfold really makes for an interesting and nerve-wracking experience. Peace is something we must never take for granted, whether long-standing or short-term respite from violence. Thank you for this discussion. I really enjoyed listening to it.
We're
So-
non-resident of...
Non-Singaporean
Oh, non-Singaporean.
resident of Singapore. lah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see,
yeah,
I see, I
yeah.
see, I see,
So,
I see.
yeah, interesting. We are, I think he enjoyed listening to us chat about it from our Singaporean perspective also.
And I mean, I'm sure that coming out from Parliament, there'll be more stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, there's also those that, like, I won't say things, literally the next comment after this. What nonsense! The conflict is older than you two combined. Only now you're just finding out what a joke.
Oh,
So yeah, like, it balances out.
wow. Yeah, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah.
But yeah, and what is your one shiok thing?
My one shook thing is as we were like cleaning up our house over the weekend, like what I mentioned as we do. I found out that my wife has had a Kindle for a long time.
Oh, okay.
And I never really interacted with a Kindle. And I always thought I would never use a Kindle. But I mean, it's one of the older versions. But just using it, right? Now I get why people read it. Because I've heard everything about the e-ink and stuff like that. But I was using it, I was like, hey, shit, it feels nice. It's like a nice size. It's so easy on the eyes. It's so easy to read. So I think I'm going to try and read something on the Kindle. You had a Kindle last time, right?
Yeah, I do. I do have a Kindle.
Do you use it?
No, I don't.
Did you ever use it?
Maybe for a brief. I read like maybe a couple of books on it, but not really for me.
Yeah, I want to try because for me, it has always been clear. I like books. If I were to have to read, I read a book.
Yeah.
But I was surprised. I expected to dislike it a lot more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
And also because like next week when I'm traveling, I'm thinking, do I really want to... I got this new book recently, but I'm like, I don't want to bring a book. So I don't know. I might bring the Kindle. I don't know. I'll see. But I didn't dislike it as much as I thought I would.
Yeah, I don't dislike it, but it's just something about holding a book and, flipping the pages.
Yeah, that's...
Getting to the end and having that almost as a trophy of something that you've read. You finish reading, compared to a Kindle, it's sort of like it's
the same experience.
Very transactional. Yeah. It's like I mean, of course, you can absorb more. So it's the question of sometimes like how we discuss about listening to a podcast or YouTube video at 2x speed.
Yeah, correct.
Versus just like enjoying what it is.
I'm a 2x speed kind of guy.
You're totally a 2x speed guy. So I would have expected you to have embraced the Kindle from the start. Because that's what all ministers and all that also do. They're all Kindles and all that, right?
Is it all?
A lot of them, I think, remember we were talking to, I think, Alvin Tan or what, then he was saying that he was like geeking out with Lawrence Wong over what they have on the Kindle and stuff.
Oh, yeah, right? It's true.
I can tell you want to join the club.
I fucking love it. Suddenly I love it. Because I already am a fan of like the 2x, where possible 3x sometimes.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say you're a fan of like ministers and everything.
No.
You want to read it, exchange notes in it.
Yeah, no. So I'll try a Kindle, then I'll report back how the experience was.
I think you can have both. I think certain books.
You can have.
If you want to experience it as an experience and the book's very nice to read, you can have that. Whereas like certain books that you're like it's trashy and all that, don't bother. Just quickly read it, lah. Yeah.
Okay, lah. We'll see.
Okay.
What about you, man?
My one shoot thing is I think just this couple of days there was a announcement or at least like a launch of like this. I think there's a company that's now taking decommissioned SBS buses and turning them into a luxury, I would say, hotel kind of experience in Changi Village by the Changi Village Hawker Centre. So it's my one shoot thing, even though I haven't tried it, but it looks quite interesting to me. And to be honest, to me, it's like one of those things that it might there's a little bit of buzz for a while, but I don't think it will last for very long. Like it's one of those things that like, in theory it sounds very fun. But after a few people experience it and then they realize it's too expensive for what it is. Because they basically taken all these old SBS buses and decommissioned them, and then they've made the insides into accommodation with beds and a bathtub and all that. Can fit 3 people, so a family can go. And then you can get out of the bus in the morning and then you're at Changi Village Hawker Centre where you can have breakfast and all. And it's just a bunch of like buses like that lined up on a green field.
And they keep the driver's seats and steering wheels.
Yeah. So you can play along. Yeah.
Whoa!
So I can imagine for kids, for bus enthusiasts, all that, it's a lot of fun. But it doesn't look like one of those like long-term kind of experiences.
And it's not cheap, lah.
It's not cheap. So I think it's close to like $400 to experience. So it's one of those things that probably, be a bit of buzz, a splash at the start, but after a while, will be much less. It won't be super popular. Then after that, it will just disappear. Then your one chance in your life of like
Sleeping in the bus.
sleeping in a bus, will sleeping in a luxury or in having a luxury stay over in a bus, that would have been it. It was one of those things. Then your kids will be, I wish that we did this last time, because next time in the future they won't even have buses anymore. It'll be like flying vehicles and all.
Yeah.
Right?
So that means now is your one shooting just cause what, of the novelty or what?
The novelty, I mean, the fact that it's something different from everything you see in Singapore. It actually reuses something from our past and all that we're all very familiar with. And, we've all fallen asleep in a long bus ride in the back of the bus and all. But now to go with your family and spend $400 and sleep in one, I think it's just something to do. It's like sort of like you just say that you tried it.
And Changi is still quite charming. It's still quite charming.
It's not so built up as the rest of the world yet. Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, if anyone has tried it out, please let us know how it is also. Yeah.
Sweet, man.
Cool.
Okay, cool. That's the end of the podcast. So remember, if you enjoyed it, it'd be great if you could recommend it to at least one other person. Follow us on all the social media, hit follow, turn on the notifications, and we'll talk to y'all soon.